Good morning, Tubi. I had to go back in the book because this is my second taping this morning. We're here. We're alive. We're healthy. I accidentally hit stop record and I kept talking. So I was talking to myself without being recorded. So this is take 2 for today. And I'm ready to be back in the classroom more than ever. Today is Tuesday, May 19th, 2020. No major updates today. Parents, if you're listening, make sure that you sign up on Sign Up Genius to set a time for coming up to get last bits and belongings and things like that, and return library books and anything else you may have that belongs to school. If you have any classroom books that you remember, anything like that. I think everything else you keep. And one more day this week, and only one thing due this week, and that's math pages tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. You're going to begin studying for your spelling final. It's the words from this week, lesson 27, and the words from next week, which we're skipping to the last one, lesson 30. I will email your parents a list of both. There are 28 words total, and your parents will pick 20 next Friday to give you that spelling final. That's the first final. I will also have to you by tomorrow a religion study guide. That's the only other one. The only other one we will give you a study guide for. You'll need it because it's terms from all the way in the beginning of the year. Math, not that you can't study, but just look through your book, look at all the things that we've done. If you need a refresher in something, go ahead and do that. I know it, and First and Math are great for that. And then your ELA final is a little bit of reading and your writing skills, but it will just be like your regular online test that you've taken since quarantine started, or distance learning, I should say. And that will just be online, and it'll be based on the last lesson, which is lesson 30. So again, the best way to study for that is make sure you're doing your work and paying attention. So are my backup lights on? That's going to do that. Still not sure what's going on. Yeah, right. Today I'm going to read the next chapter in the story. It'll bring us to chapter 7. We're going to read chapter 6 today, and there's only 8 chapters, so I think we'll end with the other 2 chapters tomorrow. You're working with adverbs again today, but this time it's on when something is happening. Yesterday you worked with how something happened, quietly, softly. So a little bit different, but the same. And then in math today, have your math book ready. We're still working with the word problems, and I'd like to go through the first 2 with you and then have you do the last 2 on your own. All right, since this is my second time, let's get started. Chapter 6. Got it. We dropped the girls off at ballet and drove over to the mall. As soon as we got inside the doors, I took off running. "Freddie, slow down. Wait for me," my mom called, jogging after me. "You need to walk." "Hurry up, Mom," I yelled over my shoulder. "We don't have a lot of time." When we got to the game place, the line was out the door. "Oh no," I cried. "There are so many people." "It's not a big deal," said my mom. "If we run out of time today, we can always come back tomorrow." "No, I have to get it today," I whined. "Then you better get in line," said my mom. We got in line and waited and waited and waited. Every 2 minutes, I asked my mom what time it was. The line seemed to crawl as slowly as a snail, I was so nervous I kept biting my nails. "If we don't get up there in the next 10 minutes, then we'll need to come back tomorrow," said my mom. "I can't be late to pick up the girls." "But I can't leave without it," I said. "I just have to get it." "Sorry, honey," said my mom. "That's just the way it is." Come on, I mumbled under my breath. "Let's go." And this is him envisioning himself as a snail. Pretty funny. There were still 3 people ahead of me in line, and it didn't look like they had too many copies left. I rubbed my shark's tooth for good luck. With 1 minute to go, I finally reached the front of the line. "How can I help you?" asked the guy at the cash register. "I'd like the new game Wonderworld, please," I said. "Wow, you're in luck," the guy said, handing me the game. "This is the last one I have. Everyone else is going to have to come back tomorrow." "Whew," I signed with relief and patted my lucky shark's tooth. "Thanks a lot," I said as I handed the guy my money. "I can't wait to play it." It's a lot of fun, he said. What level are you on? I asked him. Level 6. 6? Wow, that's amazing. Well, good luck, he said as he handed me the game. Thanks, I said again. I grabbed the game and left the store. That was lucky, said my mom. I didn't answer. I was too busy looking at the game in my hands. Freddie, I'm talking to you, said my mom. I still didn't answer. My mom tapped me gently on the head. Hello, is anybody in there? Huh? What? Oh, sorry, Mom. What did you say? I said that was lucky. We made it in time, and you got the last one. Really lucky, I said with a giant grin on my face. As soon as we got home, I tore open the game and started playing. I didn't realize how long I had been playing until my mom called me for dinner. And this is a picture of him getting the game. There's Mom. Looking like a mom. Freddie, where are you? Said my mom. I'm in the den, I shouted. My mom walked in. Why didn't you answer me? I called you 3 times already for dinner. Sorry, Mom, I said. I didn't hear you. Well, it's dinner time. You need to turn that thing off and go wash your hands. I'll be there in a minute. I just have to. No, you'll turn it off now, or I'm going to take it away. Dinner is getting cold. My mom stood there. She wasn't going to leave until I turned off the game. I saved what I had done so far so I could continue after dinner, and I went to wash my hands. When I sat down at the table, my dad said, What did you do today, kids? I practiced a new dance for my ballet recital, said Susie. That's wonderful, said my dad. I can't wait for your recital. I always love watching you dance. And how about you, Freddie? What did you do? Did you practice playing catch with Josh and Robbie? No, I didn't have time to play catch. Mom took me to the mall to get the new video game Wonder World. Oh, that's right, said my dad. Have you tried it yet? Tried it, said Susie. That's all he's done since he got home. He's been sitting in front of the TV for 2 hours. 2 hours? You must really like that game. It's awesome. I got my house built, and I was searching for the treasure in level 1 when an evil serpent appeared out of nowhere and lunged at me like this, I said as I jumped out of my chair and lunged at Susie. Uh-oh. I guess I startled Susie because she screamed, bumped into the table, and accidentally spilled her glass of milk. Now look what you made me do, she shouted. The milk was trickling off the table and making a puddle on her chair. Freddie, said my mom, what do you say to your sister? Sorry, Susie, I said. Now go get some paper towels and clean this mess up, said my mom. I wiped up the floor and Susie's chair and sat back down. Susie gave me the evil eye from across the table. She looked really mad. Excuse me. I looked down at my plate and started shoveling forkfuls of spaghetti into my mouth. Whoa, slow down there, said my dad. You're going to choke. No, I'm not, I said with a mouthful of food. Ew, you're disgusting, said Susie. You have little pieces of spaghetti falling out of your mouth. Freddie, you know it's not polite to talk with your mouth full, said my mom. You need to chew up your food and then you can talk. Slow down, said my dad. What's the rush? I need to go play some more Wonder World. I haven't even gotten past level 1 yet, and Kimberly said today that Robbie is already on level 4. May I please be excused? No, said my dad. Why not? Because it's dinner time. You don't play video games during dinner. And after dinner, you have to take a shower, said my mom. Can I skip the shower tonight? I said, lifting my shirt to smell it. I don't smell bad. Freddie, said my mom, stop smelling yourself at the table. You're taking a shower. It's not a choice. And after your shower, you have to do your homework, said Susie. That's just him sniffing a shirt. Like I said this morning, you are not the boss of me, I mumbled. Your sister is right, said my dad. No more video games until you finish your homework. But no buts, said my dad. School is more important than a video game. But I have to play more tonight. I just have to. Chapter 7, gotta play. There's only 2 chapters left. So I guess he masters it nope, that made it work. Pretty quickly. All right. Gotta work on the lighting in here. Okay. So we'll have to take a guess at what happens with Freddie. We'll find out tomorrow. All right, let's look at your reader notebook pages today. Like I said earlier, you're going to continue to work with adverbs. Today, it's when something happens instead of how something happens. So the words aren't necessarily going to end in ly. They're going to be much different today. Words like yesterday we went to the museum. First we took a bus there. We wrote a thank you letter today. Okay, so when did these things take place? You're just going to look for those adverbs and you're going to underline. You're going to skip 177 today. That focus trait one we need to do on the smartboard together. That's why we keep skipping them. All right, and then 178 is a review on possessive nouns. We did these in the beginning of the year. You're just looking for who or what the item belongs to. So who or what owns it. I think you're just circling that word too, and then there's a little piece at the bottom. So you should be okay with Reader's Notebook today. Let me know if it's any different for anyone. Okay, if you have your math book ready, I want to get right into math. I have my clock ready, and I believe I have my page ready. I have my page set up like this because unfortunately this is my teacher page and it has the answers on it. I didn't want you to see them right away. So I'm just going to leave it down like that and we'll scroll up as it goes. The first page is just like yesterday. You're just reading, okay? And it's going to show you how to count backwards on the clock to figure out like what is 15 minutes before, I'm pointing, like you can say, 15 minutes before 4:45 is 4:30. Okay, so take your time and read all that. Sorry, I have a tickle in my throat. All right, let's start with number 1. Are we ready? Really quickly, what are the 4 steps to solving a word problem? The first one begins with the R. Read. The next one begins with a P. Plan. The next one begins with an S. That's right, solve. And the last one begins with a C. Check. Good job. So that's what we want to do when we do our word problems. We're going to read it. We're going to plan it out in our head. We can make a whole mess all over the paper and writing and have maps and graphs and whatever you need to do to plan it. You're not ever really going to meet a teacher that doesn't want to see that. We want to see you planning it out. We want to see you working. Then you're going to solve it. So after you have your whole plan, you got to solve everything. Addition, subtraction, eventually multiplication, division. And then you want to go back and check it. Okay? After he wakes up, Eduardo spends 30 minutes getting ready for school in the morning. Then he spends 25 minutes eating breakfast and 15 minutes walking to school. If he gets to school at 8 a.m., what time did Eduardo wake up? Now, with the skills we've been learning on the first pages today and yesterday, you can set a clock, if you have a handy dandy one like this, at 8 a.m., and you can take each piece and go backwards. First, you can go back 15 minutes. That's how long it took him to walk. Then you can back another 25. That's how long it took him to eat his breakfast. Then you could go back another 30 minutes, which is how long it took him to get ready, and you're going to get your answer. That's one way. I'm going to show you that. But another way is what? What do you think we can do with these 3 numbers here? 30, 25, and 15. Give you a second to think. Okay. If you said add, you're correct. Because once we add up the 3 numbers, then we'll have one chunk of time that we know we need to go backwards. Now, it's really the same thing as breaking it down to 15, 25, and 30, but it'll be a little easier to just have that one number to count back on. Okay. Put my clock down for 1 second. Pick up my pen. Hopefully it writes nice for me today. All right, so we have 30. We're going to go with the highest numbers first. 25. And 15. Now, both ways are correct. If you had a clock at home and you want to do it that way I just said, that was fine. And I will show you both. Okay. Start in the ones column as always. 0 plus 5 plus 5 more is good. 10. And put our 0 in the ones place. Carry our 1 up here in the tens. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 1 more is 7. Okay, So we have 70 minutes total that we need to go backwards. Well, how many minutes are in an hour? Hopefully you remember that. It's 60. So if I'm looking at that 70 minutes and taking away 60, which is an hour, I'd be left over with 10. So you could say an hour and 10 minutes is what we're going back. Now, when you're really good with time, like adults, hopefully, sometimes we get real into the digital and we forget sometimes. But anyway, once you master time and you really have it down in your head, like we will at the end of second grade, you can say, okay, well, 1 hour before 8 a.m. is 7 a.m. Now we need to go back 10 more minutes, and that's 6:50 a.m. That's great if you could do it like that. If not, you'll need a clock. Unfortunately, we have little clocks for you to use, and I have them keep them in your desk while we're doing time. This isn't the world we live in right now, and we're at home. So if you don't have something like this, sometimes the Dollar Tree has one. It's like a foam one. It's great practice. Sometimes they have the little plastic ones. Have a parent look next time they're in there. You can always make one just to use, and we'll use a little fastener or button, or this really is the best tool to have while we're doing all this. So if you don't have it, use my video today to solve this one out and get some good practice, okay? All right, so we have it set at 8 a.m., okay? That's 8 a.m. Now remember, we're going backwards. So we're going to go back the full 70 minutes here, and then I'll show you how to do it by breaking it down smaller, okay? I have to always remember. I just remember, there we go, okay. Bear with me. I keep doing everything backwards because I'm just not used to this. All right, so we're going to start at 8 a.m., and each number will count as 5, and we're going this way because we're going backwards. It's called counterclockwise. We're going to go the opposite way. All right, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. Okay, now that is 6:50 a.m. or 10 minutes until 7 a.m. So you'll see that it's not just on the 7 yet because it would be on the dot right here. It's just before it. So we're still in the 6 o'clock hour, and it's 10 minutes until it hits the hour at 12. So the answer is 6:50 a.m. Okay, you'll see that there. Now, let's try it one more time. Doing it the first way I said, which if you had something like this and you were able to just count back, then you could do that, breaking it down each time. And you wouldn't have to write a lot to do this because you'd be using a tool, and that's okay. You would just end up with the answer. But okay, so he gets to school at 8 a.m., but going backwards, it took him 15 minutes to walk there. 5, 10, 15, okay? Excuse me again. It took him 25 minutes to eat his breakfast. Let's go backwards again. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay, that's where we're at now. And then it took him 30 minutes to get ready. So whether he jumped in the shower, brushed his teeth, and picked out an outfit, who knows? All right, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Either way, we're going to land back on that 6:50 a.m. So what does that mean? Well, either way is correct. As long as the answer that you put on the line is correct, then you're good. Teachers want to see your work. So in this case, a teacher would know you were using a tool. So if you did it the way we just did it with the clock, then the teacher would know that. But if you wanted to, or the teacher said we must see some kind of work, then what you're going to want to do in a problem like this is add up the 3 numbers and then go from 70 minutes. Okay? Be a lot easier when we have these in our hands, but we got to do the best we can. All right. Whoop. I'll give you the answer. This one does not have to do with time, but it's going to go back and just make us think. And that's what the purpose of a word problem is. If you're someone who gets frustrated with them, I still do as an adult, but I know how necessary they are. Word problems are designed to make us think, to make us figure out the problem. That's why we teach you the steps. Sorry, it's my allergies. And you will use this. We always do, well, when will I use this? You'll use word problems in every part of your life. If I get a pile of bills mailed to me and I have so much money to spend each week, I need to figure out what I can pay, what I can't pay. I need to subtract and add and multiply. And that is a living word problem. So these are important. All right, let's get started. Try to clear it nice and good. A pet store orders 500 bags of dog treats. At the end of the first week, there are 386 bags left. They did pretty good. In the second week, the next week, they sell 115 bags. How many bags are left now? How many bags of dog treats were sold in all? Two things I need to figure out here, okay? So my plan has to involve both parts. When we first learned about how to solve word problems, we learned that sometimes there's information I don't need. Is there any information here that I wouldn't need? If you said no, you're correct. We need it all. We need to know what they started with, and we need to know what they sold in each week. Excuse me. All right. So when we started out with our store, we had 500 bags. Very quickly in that first week, we were already down to 386 bags. So what does that mean? It means in my second week, that's how many I started with. So just remove the 500 for now. Don't think about that. You're going to need it later, but you don't need it right now. So in the beginning of the second week, this is what I started with, 386. Because remember, that's what they had left in the first week. So in my second week, I open up my store. I have on my shelf 386 bags of dog treats. And at the end of the week, I sell 115 bags. So how many are left now? How many are left is a big clue that I'm going to be subtracting. So I started week 2 with 386. And I sold 115 more bags that week. So when I close up the store on Sunday night, how many do I have left? Let's figure that out. Okay, ready? Start with the ones always. 6 minus 5 equals 1. 8 minus 1 equals, good, 7. 3 minus 1 equals 2. Good. So 271. That's the answer to my first question. How many bags are left now? So already we figured out the first problem. Okay. Now, how many bags of dog treats were sold in all? At the end of the 2 weeks, on Sunday night, I lock up the store, and in the store, there are still 271 bags of dog treats left. Okay. I started with, here's where 500 comes back, 500. Right now, I have 271. What am I going to do? Subtract. So I'm going to take my 500. Oh, I just dropped. Sorry about that. I didn't know if it was going to let me write out of the line. Sorry about that. All right. And now I'm going to take my new number, 271, that I have on Sunday night when I close up the shop. And this is going to tell me that second question. How many did I sell all together? Sorry. Can you take 1 from 0? You cannot. This becomes a 10. I'm taking 10 from here. So this gets crossed out and actually becomes a 9, right? So it's going to have to go down. And this becomes, so I'm taking it from here. So that's going to go down to 400. All right. I have to go back and remember this. All right. So now I have 10 minus 1 equals, good, 9. 9 minus, sorry, something's buzzing. I don't know if it's my phone. 9 minus 7 equals, Good. 2. And 4 minus 2 equals, good, 2. So 229 bags sold in all. Now, I lost my train of thought. Oh, I know what I meant to say. Let's scroll down and see if we were right. Sorry about that. It's actually really late. All right. So the pet store has 271 bags. We were correct in the first or second week. And the pet store sold 229 bags of treats. The hardest part to the word problems is figuring out what you need to do. But once you figure out what you needed to do, I knew the first 2 numbers I needed to subtract. I got my first answer. Then I knew that I needed to take those other numbers and the other 500 that I forgot about, and I needed to subtract them. And then I was on a roll. And that happens in class all the time. Once I help you get there and we lay out where we need to be or we plan, then you're fine. So I think that that's most likely definitely the hardest part of the word problem is just trying to figure out what am I trying to figure out. And then once you do, you're okay. I'm going to leave the last 2 to you. I want you to try some practice on your own. Of course, mom and dad can help, but see if you can get there. If you have any questions, let me know. Keep up the good work. 1 more day for the week. Not many more days together. Again, be better if we were in the classroom, but we're all doing a really great job helping each other and doing what we need to do. And we're staying safe. So that's the most important part. Okay. As always, do your best. I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.